Yo trabajo como curador libre y I will speak English, is better for me and probably for you too. So I started this project, Art in a Suitcase, in 2010, and it was, I will tell a little bit about this project because it is important conceptually about this exhibition. And I created this project activity as a critical position to the art system in Europe and probably a little bit in the United States. And I decided to travel with a small suitcase. A suitcase is not important; it's just a container. I used different suitcases, so this is no object of adoration or something like that. Like at Dijon, where is this Bodnar bowl, very important exhibition. So I traveled through Europe in 8 places in 6 states, from my hometown then to the north to Berlin and back south in the southern Italy and to end in Istanbul. And then the final presentation, the final exhibition was in Ljubljana, so capital of Slovenia again. And I invited 7 artists from Slovenia, and on my way encouraged other artists, local artists, to participate, to convince me why they should participate in the suitcase, in this exhibition that was traveling. And in every next station, I showed the whole content of the suitcase. And the main idea was that that I can present an art exhibition anywhere I am to anyone in a big room as a presentation like this time, to make a static exhibition, or just to sit on the bus station in a waiting room and open the suitcase and show one after another the artworks to somebody who is interested to know something about it, which is somehow places me as a curator to the position which is on the same level with the audience, but trying to making the similar form like the big biennales, which actually then the curators are always ex cathedra and you can touch them and so on. So I put myself in direct contact, and in this way a little bit experimental. It can fail. Somebody can tell me that I'm stupid, that I'm doing, because you cannot say that to, I don't know, Maurizio Cattelan. You don't come there. So the second time I traveled to Mexico. I was invited by Manolo Cocho, and I didn't know the situation in art. I didn't know the system in Mexico, so I presented just the usual exhibition, a little social critical. The person who was presenting me there in Fundación said this was very, very funny. At the opening, Manolo had his own exhibition, and this person said, so in this building you have art to look at, and in the other building you have the art to think about. Because it was not so material. It came just in a small suitcase. This is the third travel, and the exhibition is conceived especially for this place, and that's why it is titled Science, My Muse. And I call it art in the suitcase present in video pocket, because all artists can be smuggled through the customs in one pocket of my pocket or pocket of my suitcase, which I'm traveling with. And Science, My Muse is is meant to be like some kind of love affair between science and art. It is known that science has always influenced art, and in the past, art much more science than it does in the last, I don't know, 200 years. Actually, the division started already in Renaissance time. We remember Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, as a Homo universalis, was actually the last Homo universalis that we know, and he was exactly at that point where science and art and arts started to go separate ways. With Enlightenment, this was even stronger, and the peak of this division we can trace in the last half of, or maybe after the 70s of the 20th century, where it was propagated that so it's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics were the core of society, of progress of society. So putting arts absolutely out of education, and every year more. So now in educational system are actually museums forced to be those who educate about art, the society, the audience, and not the schools, which should do the most primary work, that people who come to the museum to see exhibition of arts or go to the opera already know something. And this we can see this worsen in time. But in the last 10 years, there have already been some movement, because it happened in science. So the neuroscience that was discovered that learning and being in contact with art helps develop science. It makes the brain function in another way, in the way that is more perceptible for and more intuitional, and not closed in scientific methodology, and always just question myself this and that, but to be more productive in kind of soft way. So yeah, I would start with the first video. This is the Crude Randomness of the Mind from Andrew Mezvinsky. He's an artist born in the United States, but traveled the world and ended in Vienna. And this is a very rudimentary, technically rudimentary animations, which are done in an abstract way. They are abstract forms, but it's based on a research from 1938 titled "An Experimental Study of Apparent Behavior," which demonstrated that when we see something that has an abstract form, we always put some anthropomorphic concept onto it, and make our own stories. So like seeing in a tree, you see a body or an eye or something like that. And these are very short videos, like sketches. First, we'll see one short version, which is that they are done with titles, and then only a short excerpt from the whole video, which lasts for an hour and a half. There are, for every day in the year is one video, and those are without titles. So the first one you can through the title you can identify already what is going on, and in the second video you have to think, imagine things yourselves. And here is this artist's book. Are all the titles of all the videos inside, and you can then look at them and try to imagine how could a video be. So, por favor, el primer video. Now is without titles. So maybe we stop here, and if you like, we can do later again. Time. So the second video is Teaching Science from Eva Petrič. She is internationally active artist from Slovenia, working in Vienna, New York, and India, Tokyo. So what she, I will just read what she tells about it herself. Science intrigues me, feeds on my curiosity. It inspires me to search for an antithesis to the facts, to search for the shadow in the body, and to find body in the shadow. Participating in various medical procedures, such as explanation and transplantations of organs, to not just acquaint myself with the facts, but also feel them. I search for the contemporary means of surpassing the borders of our bodies. For this purpose, I also borrowed the periodic table of chemical elements from the natural science and replaced them with shadows, visualizing and catalyzing for emotions, resulting in my periodic table of shadowed emotions and gray matter, language of shadows opus. This video is an ode to the periodic table of elements, the material of life. So she made a huge book, like it's like this thick with describing different emotions and some and photographs of shadows combined of the you will see then in the video. Por favor, el video. The third video is See the Invisible of Eva Schlegel. She did this video in collaboration with Barbara Imhoff, space architect, and Damian Minovsky, an architect, and is based on a program of the Russian mathematician Vladimir Romanyuk. It shows some imaginary travel through the universe. This is one of the two videos at this exhibition that actually needs some special projection. This one was originally projected to a propeller-like high-speed turning device in large size, so like more than 2 meters in a dark space. So when you see this projection there, it's just floating in the air. And the other one I will explain later. Translecture on minor gestures from Nikolaus Gansterer in collaboration with philosopher Erin Manning is this is an excerpt from an event, from a performance, because he did this performance live on, you will see on a table, and it is filmed and projected directly in the space where he does this performance, and it's based on researching or trying or experimenting with the thought. So how a line can be drawn, a line in the mind can become physical on a surface, and then it can become an object, and then again can become the thought. So it is really some process, some method how to change different forms of a thought and body and theoretic theory put in the praxis and vice versa. You will hear because it's explaining a little bit, and there are points 1 or 3 or 7, and these are parts of this translecture, different points in the process. So this is only an excerpt of the whole performance. Por favor, el video.
One, a definition. The minor gesture, the gestural force that opens experience to its potential variation, moving from within experience itself, activating a shift in tone, a difference in quality. Seven, a politics of the minor. In its punctual reorienting of the event, the minor gesture invents new modes of life living. It moves through the event, creating a pulse, opening the way for new tendencies to emerge. And in the resonances that are awakened, potential for difference looms. A politics of the minor might be defined this way: the movement activated in the event by a difference in register that awakens new modes of encounter and creates new forms of life living. Life living in its usage here refuses to privilege this life, this human life, at the expense of different forms and forces of life, even as it recognizes the importance of the punctuality of this singular event we call our life. Life living is a way of thinking life with and beyond the human, thinking life as more than human. Gilles Deleuze's concept of a life resonates strongly here. Two, a proposition. A minor key is always interlaced with major keys. The minor works the major from within. What must be remembered is this: neither the minor nor the major are fixed in advance. The major is a structural tendency that organizes itself according to predetermined definitions of value. The minor is a force that courses through it, unmooring its structural integrity, problematizing its normative standards. The unwavering belief in the major as the site where events occur, where events make a difference, is based on accepted accounts of what registers as change, as well as existing parameters for gauging the value of that change. Yet, while the grand gestures of a macropolitics most easily sum up the changes that occurred to alter the field, it is the minoritarian tendencies that initiate the subtle shifts that created the conditions for this and any change. The grand is given the status it has not because it is where the transformative power lies, but because it is easier to identify major shifts than it is to catalog the nuanced rhythms of the minor. As a result, these rhythms are narrated as secondary or even negligible. (13) A diagram for life living. Alternative diagrams for life living must resist returning to a model of inside-outside, where the human subject is situated as the motivator of experience. This is our habit, to make the work about us. When we do so, we set up conditions that are only generative as regards what we perceive as our own well-being. Framing our approach to the political this way, we place the subject, the human, in the position of agency, promoting the act in terms of the volitional thrust of our own intentionality. Even when we give voice to those silenced, even when we speak in the name of the multitude, even when we talk about the agency of an artistic process, even when we try to give agency to an oppressed people, we assume a mediation between an act and its unfolding. What if the act did not fully belong to us?
The next video has a title, Heliocentric. It is a triptych of the same concept, but in different environments. this is the second video, which would have much greater impact in kind of a dome, projected into a dome. It's spherical video made with fisheye from fisheye photographs, and it's centered on the sun. It works. It talks about this our thought. What are we centered to, and the heliocentric, the geocentric system. Even when someone goes so far to the flat Earth theories, but basically most of about the observation of the universe and the process in time. Por favor. it just came to my mind, part of a song of Pink Floyd. Sun is the same in a relative way, but you're older, shorter of breath, and one day closer to death. The next video, The Sound of Materialization, Line and Yellow Spot, 25/2, from Tilen Žbona, is a study on theories of perception. So the perception of the visual, and it is dealing with the visual elements, very abstract, but it shows how to they dissolve and they change the relationship between them, and not only shows, but it gives the possibility that we as the viewers experience this way of perception that some theories are discussing about. Por favor, el video. for this video, of course, was a little bit problem because there are more displays and it's not a clear wall. But I think it worked as well. Good. So suspension circle square from Uršula Berlot is showing material objects projected, dematerialized, and floating in space and changing positions, or actually point of view of the viewer. And she is working with perception and condition of consciousness, and her light and kinetic installations investigate forms of cerebral landscapes, simulated nature and relationships between body and technology. This video has a sound made by another artist who is mentioned in the credits. Por favor, el video. So we came to the end of projections. I would like to thank you for attending this presentation. I would like to thank Manolo Cocho for inviting me and Cetres to hosting my event. And as I hear, there are many professors and students who decide to stay at home and not come to university or avoid doing that. I would like to thank everybody who was watching live this presentation. But please, it is very important, come back. It is important because of not losing sense of community, of mutual sharing space, of the sense of society and unity with the planet. So if there are any questions or comments, I would be very happy to hear or answer.
Well, I will try to speak in English to make no problem. Sí, mi pregunta es yo llegué un poco tarde y no vi toda la presentación, pero siendo puntual, me parece que lo que llegué a ver no tiene un medio como podría ser una radio, una televisión o inclusive el cine. Mi pregunta sería, ¿cuál es el medio de este tipo de arte? más allá de estar ubicado, digamos, en la pantalla, porque resulta un poco complejo entender qué es una pantalla, porque no hay referencias como de acciones ni secuenciales. Más o menos esa es mi pregunta. Gracias.
Thank you for this question. Yes, this is a very complex question. There is a medium. So these videos are made in a way that they can be part of short film festivals or animation festivals, because these festivals are not classical in a way like they were years before, because the medium, like the video, because the film is not the film anymore, but is made digitally. So the medium already changed. And there are, of course, platforms. The greatest platform are art galleries or other art events like biennales or festivals where these videos are shown. Some of the videos can work very well even in internet. So if they are streamed, some are not. Like some are really need the big screen, the dark room, or a special TV set, or a special screen, special display. And in this case, yeah, some of them are, but this kind of art, there are plenty of manifestations where such art can be seen, can be even explained. But yes, at the beginning I stated that science, but not only science, even the public somehow through the education lost the contact with the visual language or visual languages. So it's difficult to comprehend. On the other side, art became more abstract and more complicated. So someone needs a little bit background to be able to get in contact with what art says. And this is not only about videos. Is the same happens with just the usual oil paintings or performances. It's just they are mostly very particular. So the society in the last 200 years lost the general. So nothing is or very few things are have the same value, so to say, everywhere. That globalization is a concept in our mind, but it doesn't really work for most of the people. It works for capitalism, for this kind of part of our civilization, let's say. But on the ground, among the common people, it doesn't really work. That's why I'm in Mexico. I see similar things that I see at home, but I'm still here, a stranger, and things are strange to me. It's just different. But yeah, there are many platforms for this, and the good thing is that for this topic, like connection between science and art, that many science institutions include art in their program, like art exhibitions, artist encounters, collaboration with artists to help to how to imagine scientific concepts, or like ESA, so European Space Agency, they included to fly to, I don't know, to the moon or to a satellite, a box with artworks of I don't know, 20 or 36 artists, very small objects to go to the space, and it's part of an experiment, and it's part to change the position of viewing what is the function of art, where art is, and what art can be.
Bueno, voy a hablar en español, Basia. Antes que nada, un gran agradecimiento por tu presentación. Y bueno, tuvimos el año pasado un ciclo de video arte experimental independiente. Fue muy interesante porque ya en ese tipo de videos o cine de cortometraje, observamos una narrativa muy diferente que lo que ves en televisión o en cine o en internet comercial, donde la manera de construir los lenguajes visuales y la información ya está hecha sobre fórmulas muy precisas para un consumo rápido y viene todo muy dictado por las reglas de la publicidad y del marketing, de cómo se tiene que crear la información, cómo se tiene que transmitir y cómo se tiene que consumir. Sin embargo, como este festival está hecho por gente que viene del cine, se presentaron pequeñas historias que tienen un desarrollo como un principio y un fin y una manera de transmitir algo. Me gustó mucho los videos que acabamos de ver porque hay un hilo común que para mí es la experiencia de diferentes procesos, cosas que suceden a lo largo del tiempo, pero de una manera muy abstracta y que va todavía más lejos en la manera del ejercicio de libertad para poder comunicar algo. Claro que obviamente es algo más difícil para compartir, más difícil para consumir, pero muy necesario en una sociedad que tiene cada vez estructuras más rígidas. Aparentemente hay más comunicación, aparentemente puedes agarrar el teléfono y encontrar cualquier información, pero es muy difícil ver cosas de este tipo y tener la paciencia, ¿no? También para comunicarlas, y eso hace que sea pues muy valioso este trabajo, ¿no? Muchas gracias, Basia.
Yeah, I agree with you that with art you need patience. So I have this kind of, maybe a little bit with sarcasm, comparison, spending time with an artwork of, let's say, academic artwork, or I don't like to use the word high art or something like that, but a little bit more complex thoughts. So a song of a pop singer lasts for 2-3 minutes, but the average time that people spend in front of an artwork in a museum measured is about 20 seconds. So, of course, it's difficult to understand this kind of an artwork if you spend with an artwork only 20 seconds. And it's not so difficult to understand the meaning of a song of, I don't know who, some popular Lady Gaga, if you spend 2 minutes or 3 minutes and 2 times a day, every day in the week for half a year on the radio. Of course, but you understand it already the first time because it's long ago and a long time. So this is, it's the patience. Stay there, look at art, contemplate, try to imagine something out of it and come back. It's even not a sin to fall asleep in front of an artwork. I believe that there were already many people who said, yeah, you go to a concert to the opera and you fall asleep. That's no sin. It's you dream about it. Your perception of a human being is very very complex and touches all the cells in the body. So yeah, patience is very welcome.
Porque yo veo que lo que está pasando en la actualidad es como correspondencias a la ubicación del arte, ¿no? En este momento, por ejemplo, en México, el arte tiene que pagar el pato, por ejemplo, de las ruinas arqueológicas, etcétera, etcétera, ¿no? Por ejemplo, el budismo ahora es arte budista cuando uno tiene que enfrentar en un museo, por ejemplo, no sé, un Buda original. Mi pregunta, si se quiere decir así, no sé si es esa pregunta, parece que rehuyes tú de todo lo que está pasando, que te has logrado escapar de la actualidad. Esa es no sé si es una pregunta, pero eso es lo que yo pienso que estás haciendo bien. Está muy padre poder hacer eso, pero debe ser muy esforzoso, muy costoso. Gracias.
Our societies are very complex and very diverse. And now, for some time, maybe 20 years, 30 years, is rising through the politics, is rising or is becoming the society of identifications, of identities. So for me personally, art is art. And actually, I learned that really more intense is in Mexico when I was 6 years ago. That art is art, and a symbolic image is a symbolic image. It doesn't matter what is the medium. In Europe or probably United States, so let's say the classical West is very important. Is this a real canvas? Is this really oil? What is this for material? And it's true. Okay, material is important when it has itself a symbolical meaning, which is important for what the artwork expresses or transmits. But other way is not important. Is if there is a picture of a cigarette which is crossed, it means on the TV, so on a digital display, on a paper printed or made out of stone, it has the same meaning. It doesn't matter. And even if you take a picture of it and you bring it somewhere else, it has the same meaning. So this is one point. So art is just art. And saying, yeah, this is a Buddhist art because it has some Buddhist meaning in the Buddhist religion. It's just a direction for the viewer to dig into the origin of this art to understand it better. Because the problem is with symbolical image that have meaning for everybody the same, and it's not true. Is that when you see a picture of Mary with small Jesus, we know we grew up in this tradition. We know what's the story behind, and you know even more than when you see this image than is in this image. But if you bring it anywhere in the world, everybody will see mother with a child without the story, and they have their own stories. So these identities of what does it mean is it's just some direction to start thinking about them, and the problem actually this identity, society of identities is they were at the beginning they were very important to get awareness, or to be aware that there are different identities in the world, because we are always concerned with ourselves. I am most important for me, and in society but to understand that this is only one identity, that it doesn't mean anything in the universe. It's just identity which is built, and now it is already possible to see the damage that it makes, because it breaks the society in fragments. So the society loses the sense of unity. Like those are the smokers, those are the meat eaters, those are the, I don't know, coming from the south, those are coming from the west. Those never wear shoes, and then everybody's fighting with everybody. And what is the worst? That then you have someone who is against smoking but eats meat, and then meet someone who is a vegan but is a smoker, and they are fighting among themselves, because instead of doing something which is meaningful, and of course being aware, but not putting this as a, and in art is happening the same.